Hi, these are the 6 rocks, or the 6 igneous rocks. Hi, these are the 6 igneous rocks that we need to know for GCSE Geology. This is our first one. This is specimen Q. Specimen Q, we may be able to see, is quite dark in colour. It's made of 2, perhaps 3 minerals. There seems to be reasonably even amounts of this very dark, black coloured vitreous mineral. Harder, just about the same hardness as a knife, maybe a little bit harder. We also then have this very distinctive olive green mineral. And there might be just a little bit of a white coloured mineral in here as well. If we look at the size of the crystals in this rock, we can see that most of these crystals are comfortably larger than 3 millimeters. Makes this a very coarse-grained rock. This rock is called peridotite. The second rock is specimen X. Specimen X is made of 4 different minerals. We've got this grey vitreous mineral, much harder than a knife. Most of the rock then, or the largest proportion of the rock, is made of this pink mineral. It's vitreous. Some of the crystals seem to show 2 planes of cleavage. We have a small amount of a white coloured mineral in here, very similar in appearance to the pink mineral. And we have a small amount of a black mineral, seems to be very shiny. Now that black mineral is softer than a knife and seems to make these sort of flat, shiny crystals. If we look at the size of these crystals, most of these crystals are about 3 millimeters. Some of the pink ones here are bigger, making this coarse-grained as well. This rock is granite. Our third rock is specimen Z. Specimen Z is quite dark in colour. We seem to have most of the rock being made of this black vitreous mineral that's harder than a knife, just about. We also have then a large amount of this white mineral in the rock. Seems to make sort of rectangular shaped crystals that we can see. There may be a small amount of green mineral within this as well, but it's really only a small amount. It's very hard to pick out individual crystals of it. If we look at the size of these crystals, they're smaller than the ones we've seen before, and these seem to be about 2 millimeters across, making this medium grained. This is a rock called dolerite. The fourth rock is specimen Y. Now specimen Y is also very dark in colour. It looks quite similar to specimen Z. We've got a lot of a black mineral, the one that's harder than the knife. And we can see a quantity of the white mineral as well, similar to the one we saw in specimen Z. Clearly though, there is a difference between this specimen and the one we saw before. The crystals in this rock are much smaller. We can see that there are crystals in here, but if we hold up a ruler to this, we can see that these crystals are less than 1 millimetre across. This rock is called basalt. Our fifth rock looks quite different. It's a specimen T. And you can see this rock is very, very shiny. It reflects the light a lot. It's dark in colour, but it's not really possible to pick out any minerals that we find in this. There are no crystals visible at all. This rock resembles a piece of black glass, and it's broken with the sharp edges, the conchoidal edges that we'd expect to find in a piece of broken glass. There's no point holding a ruler to this because there are no crystals to be seen at all. Even with a hand lens or even a microscope, we won't see any crystals. This rock is obsidian. Our final rock, specimen D, is in some ways similar to basalt. You can see that the crystals, and there are crystals visible in here, are quite small. If we hold a ruler up to the rock, we can see that the crystals in here are less than 1 millimetre across. The lighter colour in this tells us that there's a smaller amount of the black mineral, the black vitreous mineral, that's harder than a knife. And there's more of the white mineral with 2 planes of cleavage. And we can just about see there's a little bit of the grey mineral that's much harder than a knife, maybe even a tiny little bit of the pink mineral as well. This rock is called andesite. Those are the 6 rocks that we need to be able to recognise, describe and identify. Can you put those rocks now into the correct place on the rock classification table for igneous rocks?